So, welcome once again to another Animal Crossing video. And this is sort of a special video because it is technically my 100 subscriber special. Yeah, as of recording, I just hit 100 subscribers on the channel. And you know, honestly never thought I would get this far. It's also about 16 days from now, time of recording, it'll be the 1-year anniversary of the channel. So that's pretty cool. 100 subs in 1 year, and up to, as of time of recording, about 38,000 views, you know, that's pretty cool. Of course, most of those views are on Planet Zoo videos, specifically the Southeast Asia Zoo, with a couple videos there reaching into the thousands, but, you know, my Planet Zoo videos average anywhere between 100 to 200 views, you know, typically, so thank you for the support on those series, and of course the Animal Crossing videos do pretty well too, especially the spiny lobster and blowfish videos, so, you know, really appreciate the support there. But yeah, so today for the 100 subscribers special, we're not quite gonna do an On the Hunt for video, but instead we're going to do Beetle Bingo. So, I'm very lame, but basically, that's why I'm dressed up like a typical bug catcher, but I'm gonna see how many bugs I can catch in about half an hour. Well, not bugs, specifically these bugs, which I'll put the bingo card up there. Yeah, so let's start. You know, done a sea creature, a fish, 2 fish hunt for videos, so might as well do a bug one. And again, for 100 subscriber special, I'm gonna do something a little different. I might as well talk about the state of the channel. So, as you know, I'm uploading more than just Planet Zoo and Animal Crossing videos. Uploading a lot of Left 4 Dead videos, which I recorded with some of my closest friends, not now sure. And then also, yeah, Borderlands. Started Borderlands with Kyle and Miles. It's Miles' first time playing a Borderlands game, and so he's getting pretty into it, so that's been fun. I recorded a little bit of Half-Life with Kyle, or should I say Kyle recorded it, because he still wants to be included on this channel, but he said he would edit it, and it's been a couple months now, and he hasn't edited or uploaded, so he's busy though, so. He's also supposed to send me his Portal footage so that series can finally get underway. I guess I should take a minute and explain the bingo. This is so professional, don't you know? Yeah, so I kind of sorted the beetles into 4 rows based on rarity. Yeah, it's surprising that the blue weevil is on there. And of course, I just scared that one away. We're not going for any of the beetles except for the ones that spawn on palm trees. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, looks like we're already gonna have our first one, and of course the most common one. The drone beetle. Matching my outfit with the green. But yeah, no. Hopefully one day the portal gets edited and out there. But then, what else? It's almost been a year since me and Kyle recorded any Pokemon Coliseum. Again, it's going to have to wait until I move into my new apartment and get unpacked, because most of my stuff's packed away there right now. Haven't quite moved yet, still finishing up working as many hours as I can at the greenhouse just to top it off, because as you know, grad school does not pay well. But it's passion, so gotta see it through. Gotta get my papers published too, gotta get on the co-author of the one. Eating me up inside that it hasn't been published in 3 years. Anyways, Beetle Bingo. Because I was trying to decide, which beetle do I hunt for, and like, kind of doing some tests, you know, to see how frequently they'd spawn. Sometimes I get a golden stag right away, and then, gosh, it had been recorded then, it would have been a nice short video, but... C'est la vie. Gonna want to do more games with the guys too, and working on a video, getting it scripted out, something a little bit different, not like a let's play or speed build video, but still video game related, but more of like a video essay, you know? I'm a guy with a lot of opinions, so why not? Why not share those opinions? Oh, this is going to be a tricky one, because this beach isn't very big and has a lot of obstacles. We're already knocking out one from the second row, too. This might get a full bingo sheet. I actually suck at catching bugs on trees, because I can never get the distance quite right. There we go. There's two. Two down. 2 out of 12. 3 out of 12. I'm gonna cheat. Because I'm not even sure these ones actually spawn on palm trees. Well, never mind. You know, just guaranteed a way to reset the songs. But yeah, 40,000 views almost on the channel. That's something I never quite anticipated either. But again, I just did these, started doing these because I wanted to learn how to video edit, and gave me something to do over quarantine. Starting my PhD, I can imagine it's gonna decrease in frequency, but you know, built up some good momentum during this summer while working at the greenhouse, and oh, the greenhouse has been an experience. It's been an experience, alright. They like me there, I've done a good job for them, I work hard, but ever since being moved to cash, it's been less fun. I get to talk to people more, because, you know, more people around on the cash, but they expect a lot from us. And they're scared of bad reviews, so they're letting people in with no masks. But hey, you didn't hear that from me. It's always the customers with no masks that are the biggest issue. I got a story. This might as well be the medium to tell it, since these videos are just me rambling anyways. But so I'm a cashier, and I serve this older dude. And, you know, he's a reasonable enough older dude. Like, he's trying to be, oh, hopefully I get this one. Trying to be funny, you know, making jokes like, oh, can't you give me a senior's discount? And like, haha, no, they'll fire me if they even know that, like, you asked. But anyways, I serve him, and then my manager is like, hey, we're gonna have you cover the greeter. I can't believe I did that. Got way too close because I couldn't see. Yeah, we're gonna have you cover the greeter. It's basically I'm just like a Walmart greeter. I go stand outside and welcome people into the store. You know, hey, how's it going? How's your day? And, you know, in the before times, I was also, like, supposed to get them to put on masks, but then they got a couple of bad reviews about people being forced to wear masks, and now they're just like, just let them in. But the trade-off is, oh, just let them in, but tell them they have to take a cart. Because somehow the cart is going to put an invisible force field around them and absorb all the COVID they expel. Anyways, so now I'm greeter, and this couple rolls up into one of the handicap spaces, and it's some people that I've had to deal with before. It's like a staunchly anti-mask couple, and the kicker is the wife wears an oxygen tank, so obviously she would be one at risk of COVID, but super anti-mask, super confrontational. So I was just like, hey, how's your day going? And they're just like, where do you get the strawberries? And like the way the shop is set up, the place to buy produce is kind of near the exit by the cashiers. So I say, oh, if you're just looking for strawberries, I'll let you in through this exit door right here. And the husband looks at me and goes, I don't want to go through that door. I want to go through this door. And he points to like this one. I'm like, well, see, this exit door is open, and that exit door only opens from the inside because it's automatic. So like you should just go in through this door and walk the 10 extra feet. He doesn't listen. He goes and starts heaving on the door and almost breaks it. His wife then asks, oh, where do you have this product? And I was like, oh, it's right in through here. You can actually see it through this open door. And she starts to go through it, and he yells at her, don't go through that door. So really you can just tell he doesn't want to be told what to do. in any capacity. Pause from the story. I just want to say, Hercules beetle, probably my favorite insect. I did a report on it in my invertebrate biology class. We had to do like an elevator pitch on like our favorite invert, and pick that. They're cool. Classic beetle. Anyways, continuing on with the story. Yeah, so you can just tell they don't want to be told what to do in any capacity. I didn't even bug them about taking cart, because I think that rule's stupid. Like, so they go in, and they promptly get kicked out and told to get a cart, and they come right back. As they're on their way out, the older gentleman that I served before is coming back. He had driven away, he's coming back because he forgot some plants that he wanted. He starts getting out of his car, and he runs into the anti-mask couple. And the husband starts yelling stuff like, "Take that fucking mask off, man. Take that fucking mask off. It's killing you, man. It's killing you. Take that mask off." And the guy says, "Oh, well, I have to wear it to go into the store." And the anti-masker goes, "Just make something up, man. Just lie. Just tell them you have a medical condition. Just make something up." And first, like, I'm standing not too far away hearing all this happen. And at first, the older guy doesn't really take the bait. He just goes, "So what are you going to do with all those berries?" Because they bought, like, probably 30 quarts of berries. And the husband goes, "We're going to freeze dry them." And the guy goes, "Freeze dry them? Well, what's that?" It's like, "Oh, you, like, put them in a freeze dryer, and, like, it takes all the water out of them, and it preserves them. You can have them good for, like, up to 20 years. He goes, "Huh. Can I do that in my fridge?" He goes, "No, man, no. You gotta get a specially made freeze dryer for it." And he goes, "Well, how much does those cost?" "Oh, man," and the wife jumps in, "Oh, man, we know a guy. Here's his website, and here's a referral link. Like, you'll want to buy one from there." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I think I will." So this anti-mask couple is now just sold this elderly gentleman a freeze dryer in the parking lot. Just the most random thing. But they were talking about freeze dryers for like 20 minutes, like the ins and outs, how to do it, what's the best kind to get, so on and so forth. Sidebar. Goliath beetle. Second favorite beetle. Anyways, so now that they got this old man engaged in conversation, they start talking to him about, the classic stuff like, "Oh, COVID's a hoax, the vaccine's gonna kill you, like it's not even a real disease, the vaccine's gonna kill you, the PCR tests are a scam, blah blah." And they go on like this for like 30 minutes, and I'm just standing there, and at one point my manager comes out to check on me, since I was just sort of thrown onto the greeter position. She's like, "How are you doing out here, managing fine?" And I'm like, "Thank you for putting me out here. This is like the most entertainment I've had at this job. This is like a 3-part play going on." So anyways, they talk to this old guy about how much of a hoax COVID is, and I hear him say, like, "Oh, well, you're pretty well educated. Like, where do you learn all this stuff?" And I'm thinking that, like, he's poking fun at them. Because, from before, he's, like, he makes jokes. And, they're like, "Oh, we see it all on we have our websites here. I'll give you some links to them, too." And she takes out the notepad again and starts writing down her conspiracy theorist websites. Anyways, at this point, the old man's taking off his mask, and I realize, oh no, they've converted him. And sure enough, he starts walking back up to the store with no mask, and I'm not paid enough to fight with lunatics at this point. That's why I didn't, argue with the first couple. And I just say to him, "Welcome back, sir. Here for round 2. And before, he even has a chance to respond, the anti-mask couple from, the parking lot still starts yelling at me, "He's fucking medically exempt. Leave him the fuck alone." And I go, "I know. I'm just chatting with him." And, just welcome, do a greeter's job, and let the old guy back into the store. But, 3 things about them yelling at me that really bothered me. It's like, 1, he wasn't medically exempt the first time he entered the store. 2, I heard you tell him to make something up. 3, you met him an hour ago, because you sat and talked to him in the parking lot for an hour. I know, you know nothing about this guy, really. Getting a lot of Goliath beetles. And then 4, I'll add a 4th one in. It's like, I didn't give you a hard time about not wearing a mask, so why would I suddenly turn around and give this old guy grief for not wearing a mask? I care, But again, these are like the people who tend not to wear masks are the ones who will just throw a hissy fit if you tell them to wear a mask. One time this old lady's coming through the line back when I still cared. And I was like, hey, sorry ma'am, in order for any of us to serve you today, we're going to have to ask you to put on a mask. And she looks at me really smugly and goes, do you? Do I have to wear a mask for you to be able to serve you? Or for me to be served by you? And I'm like, yes, you do. And she goes, well, I'm medically exempt. And I'm like, alright, fuck off then. And then I was like, alright, well then I can't serve you. And then a team lead came over and said, hey ma'am, sorry, he's right, you have to wear a mask if you want us to serve you. And she goes, you whore, I'm not going to wear a mask. And it's like this old lady, anyways. Another fun old lady story from work is when I was working in the vegetable department. I was coming to the end of the vegetable season. We were sold out of a lot of stuff. This old lady comes in and she's like, oh, do you have beefsteak tomatoes? I know I'm late, but do you have them? And I'm like, no, sorry, we're all sold out of them. And she goes, son of a bitch! And it's just like this sweet old lady, but she starts cussing like a sailor. And she's like, well, what about early girl tomatoes? Do you have early girl tomatoes? Like, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like, all we have left are, midnight snackers. And she goes, son of a bitch, God, that. And she, just starts cursing profusely. And it was just the funniest thing. And she's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just kicking myself. I'm so angry for waiting so long. But, yeah. Anyways, it's been a real experience working here. I will not miss it. You know, it's not a fun job. Especially when you don't get breaks on an 8-hour shift. Because, we're agriculture. I'm a cashier. I don't count as agriculture. But, no, I appreciate them giving me the job. The people there are nice. But, not for me long term. So I'm going to do my PhD. I wonder, how many people actually listen to these stories, or they just skip ahead, yeah, let's cut to the chase. Can cut to the chase, gonna add another beetle onto the board. And I see a dung beetle back there, should have included them, but again, just trying it only for coconut tree ones. I know that the dynastid, the Hercules looking beetle, spawns on coconut trees, but that's been about 15 minutes. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beetles. 4 types of beetles. Yes, redemption. Looking at the board, you'll see that I put the blue weevil with gamer focus mode. Had to concentrate to not mess it up again. You see I put the horned weevil on the bottom. Oh, see, they can spawn on coconut trees. I put the horned weevil on the rare part of the board, and that's apparently true. They're one of the rarest ones. Up there with Hercules beetle and golden stag, so I might actually get a full board. I wasn't counting on that. Why, thank you, Margie. Margie? I still don't know how to pronounce her name. Another, actually, fun from story work today is, today was so slow. We had barely any customers. Everyone came early on in the season when we were the only thing open. So now, only a couple people trickle in. And, me and the other cashier are sitting there, and I look up, and there's a monarch butterfly flying against the roof, trying to get out through the glass. It got in, can't figure out its way out. And, I felt bad for it, you know, I'm like, they're not doing too well population-wise, I should try to rescue it. And, I start telling my coworker, because I will talk to anyone who listens about animal facts. I'm like, yeah, so their migration pattern is pretty cool. So the first generation is born in Mexico in the forests, and then that first generation travels a little bit north and reproduce, and then the next generation goes further north, and they have about 4 generations, with the 4th one being born in our area, in Canada, and then that generation flies all the way back down to Mexico. And he goes, well, how far would one of those fly in a day? Like, you wouldn't imagine one of those insects flying very far, but if it makes it all the way down to Mexico, it must. And I said, oh, I had this on a test once. I should know this. And he goes, oh, well, yeah, you should know this was on a test. So, and he, like, there's a divider between us, so I can't see his computer screen. And he goes, so take a guess how far a monarch travels. And I said, I want to say it's 130 kilometers. And he just kind of, like, looks surprised. And he goes, well, Google said 50 to 100 miles, so let's see the conversion. And he puts it in, 130 kilometers equals to 75 miles, right smack dab in Google's answer, so it's pretty impressed with that. Anyways, the monarch was still up there, and I wanted to get it down. We have this big 12-foot long stick with a hook on the end for getting items off of the top shelf for customers, because we have like a display shelf above us. And I'm getting it to land on the stick, and then like moving it a couple feet, but then it would fly away. And it's like not easy trying to get it to land on there. Like it's tough. It's taking a while. And my manager comes over and she goes, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, there's a monarch. I'm trying to get it out. They're endangered. She goes, really? They're endangered? Why? And I'm like, oh, well, because people don't like the plant that they rely on. Milkweed as a caterpillar stage, no one likes having it around, and then like the cartels are destroying the forest they're from in Mexico. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they're tearing them down for like illegal plantations. And she's like, plantations like for marijuana? And I'm like, no, for avocados. And she just laughed, but she's like, okay, like it's not busy, we have no customers, save this monarch. So we're trying a bunch of different stuff. And gonna get this beetle so the other one doesn't count as cheating. But she, as I'm like sitting up like under it trying to get it with the hook, I just hear another person say, what are they doing? And I'm like, oh no. And I look over, it's the owner of the greenhouse, who likes me. She really likes me. I'm one of her favorite people there, because I do such a good job on the soil line. And the manager's like, oh, they're just taking down a monarch. They're trying to, like, rescue it. They're endangered. And the owner goes, oh, well, okay. And she leaves, and I breathe a sigh of relief, because I was betting that the owner would be cool with something like that, knowing her and what she likes and values, but God, it was fine. Anyways, how we ended up getting it down. The fellow cashier is a bit taller than me, and he goes and gets a ladder, and like we have these cardboard trays for people carrying out their plants. And he takes two of them and just sort of like just claps them together, not hard, but like scoops it up, takes it outside, opens it up, and the monarch flies away. So we were feeling on top of the world. You know, this story should have been saved for if I do a hunt for a monarch episode. Anyways, he's feeling on top of the world, and I look up and go, oh no, there's another one. I regret talking to you, Ken. Can you weeb? You're interrupting my beetle hunting. Let's do it. See how many beetles we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 12. So what do you have left? The blue beetle, the golden beetle, the giraffe, and the cyclommantus. Huh. I might actually clear it. We still have about 10 minutes left. This is going better than other nights that I've, like, hunted beetles. Too bad Flick was here yesterday, alright. We're making a lot of money. Chip's here today, and I had saved up a lot of fish, so sold him a bunch. Can't even remember my board. Oh, yeah, I do have a bingo. I have across the top. And if I get the cyclommantus, I get 2. I mean, it's not a competition. There's no one against, but it's like, huh. That's interesting. I know people don't, not everyone watches the end of these videos, because, like, the viewer retention graph for my Animal Crossing videos is, like, a plummet, and then it levels out at about, like, 2% continue watching, and then when I catch the animal, it like spikes. Like 18% of people watch this part, and then it dips again. So no one will ever even hear this story. Yeah, but what else is new? Starting PhD officially in little less than a month, so that'll be exciting. Moving to a new city, bigger apartment than my Ottawa place. It'll be good. Closer to my friends. It'll be good. Channel updates, again, not really too much that I haven't already said. I want to do more individual series, but I can't imagine carrying myself through a Let's Play. Much prefer the couch co-op style of conversing. I need to harass Ramp to finish A Way Out with me sometime, because we're almost there. It'll be good. Good to beat it. Something my video essay has in common, it includes Animal Crossing and A Way Out. Not Planet Zoo though, just from the games I mentioned so far, those two. I don't want to say too much and spoil it, but yeah, I just want to learn how to edit different styles of videos. Oh, super rare bug, let's go. So I know when I'm about this palm tree length away, I want to swing. There we go. So giraffe, cyclommantus, and golden left. Wow. Maybe I should go for a bit longer. Yeah, just one more lap. But I've come so close. Let's see if I can clear the board. But yeah, it's been fun to go back and play Borderlands, and like this is the first time I'm playing through an entire Borderlands game with a group of people. Like every other time I played it solo, and then like occasionally dropping in on like some other people, like either my cousin or my brother and his friends. But I've never done a whole campaign, start to finish, with people. Taking up my golden beetle spawn. Like it's so funny. Like when I was first trying to catch it, like in year one, it's like it was one of the last bugs for me to catch in the summer because it was so rare. But now, and it's so rare, but it's only 800 bells. Like this beetle's worth more than it. Oh, another thing I'm excited about, I'm gonna be living close to a zoo. Mom's like, oh, you should like get a part-time job there. I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm in grad school. They don't allow that. I would, though. But definitely getting a membership. Gonna go and take a lot of photos. They have new tiger cubs, so that'll be good. Cyclommantus, we're getting closer. I keep thinking cyclommantus, and I think that's a Metal Gear thing. Cyclommantus. I'm gonna guess it means like circle mouth. I have my computer open right here. Let's Google. Because this is entertaining content. Cyclommantus. The first thing that comes up is Animal Crossing Wikipedia. Genus, it also known as the stag beetle. Does it give it like origin of the name? Like, it's a genus. The first beetle. Yeah, it doesn't give me. Wikipedia doesn't give me an answer to what it means. It says like who named it. That just leaves 2 beetles left. with 3 minutes to go on my initial timer, but this has been arguably, well, the spiny lobster I caught in 11 minutes after complaining about how rare it was for me in New Leaf. But caught this many rare beetles in that time. Caught it a lot quicker than the blowfish and the great white, that's for sure. Much more time than the blowfish. The blowfish was the one that took the longest out of all the hunt for videos. Like the great white shark took about 50 minutes. But yeah, the blowfish, like I added a bunch out. Not you, dung beetle. Only coconut beetles. One bug that was in Animal Forest, like the proto Animal Crossing, was the coconut crab. It would spawn on coconut trees, and I really wish they kept it in, because that'd be cool. It's like, oh, well, it's not an insect. There's hermit crabs everywhere, Karen. One of the most impulsive things I ever almost bought, didn't, was a taxidermy Goliath beetle, like a glass case. Didn't. Instead, the only taxidermy bugs I have is a cicada from a old lab member, because, you know, I found cicadas all over and found out she was collecting them, so I gave them to her. Because she was like preserving them in resin. Then when I was finished and leaving, she gave me one. And then the only other one I have is a bumblebee that I collected in the Arctic during my field course up there. Just realized I've never told the polar bear chasing story, where I got chased by polar bears twice in the same day. I hinted at it in my Polar Bear Planet Zoo video, but maybe if I do another polar bear related video, I'll tell it. But yeah, did a field course in the Arctic. Did a little project on pollinators. Kept the bumblebee. Wish I kept more of them, because there was like a cool bee mimic fly that I should have kept, a couple different bumblebees, but I was like, it's going to be a lot to take home in my already full suitcase. Like, how's this glass vial going to make it? Blah, blah. But it did. And bugs don't really rot once you preserve them, so. I have a text. The text was unimportant. One cool thing that's going on right now is a lot of universities. Oh yeah, that's the original time that I put the original half hours up. So this is overtime now. Put up a little graphic. Bam! Overtime. Alright. So the universities in Ontario are starting to like mandate vaccines. Although some of them are like mandating vaccines. And like, yeah, just you have to tell us you're vaccinated before coming to campus. And like, we don't need any proof. We take your word. That's, no one's gonna lie about that for sure. I'm double vaxxed. I know Delta's this thing and scary, but bottom line is I probably won't die if I catch it now. I already had a horn dynastid, right? Yeah, cool. Just two more. Just a golden stag. And a giraffe stag. Wait, how many bingos would I have now? I have just, I don't have it open, so I'm thinking. I have one across the top, one across the middle, one across the first row. And maybe the, so I have 2 rows and 2 columns. Nice. Let's make it 3 rows. And 4 columns. Kind of defeats the purpose of putting the time limit on if I'm just going to go over, so. Won't keep you too much longer. I'm not giving many more facts about bugs compared to the fish, but that is because I am an ichthyologist, not an entomologist. One of the funniest things the professor ever said in class, teaching animal physiology, and he was showing a diagram of a cockroach talking about neurons, and he's pointing at the motor neurons located in the head. And then someone raises their hand and says, like, I'm pretty sure you're pointing to the back of the animal, like of the cockroach. I don't think you're pointing to the front of it. And he looks up, and sure enough, it's labeled like anterior and posterior. And everyone kind of laughs, and he's looking up at it for a second. He's the most, like, deadpan prof ever, you know, doesn't joke around too much, but he turns around and goes, I am not an entomologist. And just continues teaching, and we all laughed, and it's pretty funny. He was a good guy, good prof. I enjoyed his class, and now I'm in physiology. Comparative animal physiology. Am I gonna be able to catch this last 2 bugs? I'm gonna say in the next 3 or 4 minutes. I was gonna say, I don't know if the longer Animal Crossing videos, the shorter ones do better, because like the spiny lobster one is only 11 minutes, and the blowfish is like an hour, and they both did about as well. It's not a secret. A greeting's not a secret password. You're crazy. Should smack you for that, for taking away beetle hunting time. Don't have my fishing rod on me, so that's why I wanted to keep the inventories clear and pure, so I could have enough pocket space for beetles. Maybe I should do an Animal Crossing video where I get the guys in a call, and I have them rate and make a tier list of all the puns for catching the different fish. Because a couple of my friends are pretty big fishermen too, so. You're not the beetles I want. I think that'd be a good video. A little different style video. Thinking out the logistics of it now. Yeah, I think I might do that. Go away. Yeah, I said I was gonna do a little shrine for the 5,000 fish I caught or whatever, but kinda didn't. And I kind of been making my island more minimalistic, where just taking away a lot of the decor. You know, just streamlining it. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. Let's see how we did. So, there we have it. Out of the 12 beetles, caught 10 of them, filling out a good portion of the bingo board. So look at that. Round of applause. I never use reactions, so. There we go. Only the golden beetle and the giraffe stag beetle eluded us. That's a pretty good haul for an amateur bug catcher, at least. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this one. So, if you enjoyed, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing. Thank you for getting me to 100 subs, and yeah. Like the video, comment, let you know what you think, any video suggestions, anything you want to see. All feedback is good feedback. Alright, with that, have a good day. See you later.